Good morning, friends, and welcome to day 9 of Vlogmas. It is supposedly quite a stormy one today. Where my flat is, it can be quite sheltered, so I can't see too much happening. To me, it just looks like a normal day, but the forecast says that it's mild today. It's only, I think, a high of 14 in the day, 14 degrees C, and that's really quite mild for December. Yesterday, was it yesterday? I had the window open for a bit and the fly came in. You don't expect it at this time of the year. But we have a yellow warning for wind and it's currently at 30-mile-an-hour gusts, which is not too bad. But later on this evening, it's meant to go up to 54-mile-an-hour gusts, so quite blustery out there, apparently. But at the moment, can't see too much, but that's not surprising. So I was meant to be meeting up with a good friend of mine in Portobello today, but due to the yellow weather warning and Portobello being by the sea as well, we just thought it's probably not the best idea. So we've postponed and we'll see her at some point soon, hopefully. And that leaves me with a kind of free day. I had this week pretty much planned out. So you know what that means. The box will be coming out. But first, I actually have a confession first. I forgot to drink yesterday's Advent tea. So when I was editing yesterday's video, I wrote in it saying I tried the tea in the evening, assuming I would. But because I got behind with editing Vlogmas videos, I had kind of 1.5 to edit yesterday. And I was just so into my editing that I didn't even have dinner till like 9 o'clock at night. And tea was kind of a faraway thought. So I get to have 2 Advent tea today, which is very exciting. So I'm hoping that, well, you know what? I slept quite well last night. I'm feeling quite energized. So if this is also a herbal tea, then I'll still have a herbal tea today, this morning. Here we are, where normally I would save that for the afternoon, but what's it gonna be? Oh, lovely. Oh, nice. A wild cherry black tea. I think I'm really going to like this because I really like a chocolate cherry cake. I know this doesn't say chocolate, but that sort of, that could be really quite nice, I think. Okay, let's get it down. Actually, I'll get it down in a moment. I'll get the box. That's what I'm going to do. Now, there are some limitations because of the supposed windy weather. I don't really want to venture too far. I just kind of want to stay in and around Leith, maybe. And I think there's maybe 2 Leith ones in the blue, if I can remember correctly. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. We may need to dip a few times into it today. This is one, I think I put the ones I already opened back in again. So this could be one that I've already opened. Interesting. Oh no, we can't do that. We can't do that today anyway. Okay, we can't do that because they're not open on a Tuesday. Okay, back in. I think it's a sign. I genuinely think it's a sign because this is the one that I got the other day. It's probably not a sign. It's just because I don't have that many blues. So today's one that could have been the other day when we went to Broughton Street instead is Shop for a Festive Read. Now when I wrote this, I was assuming I would have finished this. I have still not finished this. I just need to, I think I wouldn't really call myself a bookworm. I would say that my mum potentially is a sort of bookworm, and my mum can't really go to bed without reading her book first. She said that when she was young, you know, she would have read anything, even just like the back of the cereal box. She was an avid reader. I am more of a hobby reader, I would say. So when I'm nice and relaxed, that's when I like to read. But when I'm feeling quite busy, then I unfortunately don't read as much. But I do listen to an audiobook. I am partway, almost finished, Death of a perfect wife, which I'm enjoying. I don't even know how to describe what it is about this book, because there are things I like about it. I like the characters, but at the same time, they can be a little bit annoying just because some of the conversations just seem so sort of silly. That just takes me out of it. But the actual story itself, I am actually enjoying, and I really want to know who did it. I'm so near to finding out who did it. So yeah, anyway, we will be shopping for a festive read today, and I have a shop in mind. I'm thinking there's a community bookshop, I think it's called, in Leith, and it's sort of a charity shop, bookshop, and they do a really nice job of curating, and I don't know, they just display it really lovely. I have showed it a few times on the channel, but I think that might be quite a nice one. And then I don't know if in this box I had written to go and get a treat from the pastry section, but the pastry section is very nearby, so I wonder if maybe we could head out to that bookshop, go by the pastry section, get a little treat, come home and just have a very cozy time of it, because tomorrow is very exciting, but I will tell you about that later on. Okay, I need my cup of tea. Plan was to do our little Leith wander before lunch. However, it's currently raining, so I think I'm going to do it in the afternoon, because it's meant to be a little bit fairer in the afternoon, but windier. But that's okay. I think it's currently windy anyway, so I'd rather just windy rather than wind and rain. So I haven't told you, but I'm going on a little trip tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. So I think I might spend this time just starting to pack my bag a little bit, maybe. I'm all wrapped up, and I didn't bring a brolly today because it's apparently very windy, so there's no point, but hoping it might not rain. Okay, heading out to find a festive read, hopefully. I also need to pick up some food. I'm a bit low on eggs and fruit and all that kind of stuff, and maybe a little something from the pastry section, so let's go. So we're taking the scenic route through the park, and so far it's really quite mild, almost warm. I've taken my scarf off, and it's surprisingly, yeah, I don't think the storm has come yet because it's not even windy. It's weirdly calm because it's meant to be a little warning for wind today, and there's barely a breeze. So I don't know if it's going to really hit later or if they've just slightly got the forecast wrong. Anyway, to the bookshop now. Let's see if the pastry section is still open and if they have anything left at this time of day as well. I really love a cheese scone, so I decided to go for a cheese scone at the pastry section. I'm home, very glad to be home, and just home in time because it's pretty much dark now. So anyway, a little haul. I got some oranges and then I picked up a cheese scone from the pastry section, which I'm going to have now with my pumpkin spice advent tea from yesterday. And got some Greek yogurt, mushrooms, blueberries. And then you might be wondering, what did I get from the bookshop? Now, I didn't actually really find a festive read because most of the ones I was interested in, I'd already read previously. And then this caught my eye, and this is purely a nostalgic purchase. I was, and is, I suppose, a huge Percy the Parkkeeper fan, and look at how beautiful this book is. Isn't it lovely? I have this story, but it's in a paperback, like a floppy big book, and this one is a hardback with like chunky pages. Isn't that just lovely? Now, when I bought this, part of me was like, maybe it's in such good condition, maybe I might gift it to one of my friends who has a little one, but part of me also just wants to keep it, so I may end up keeping it. But how lovely. I just love the illustrations. The story is so cozy, and I don't even know if, I feel like I was inspired a lot by Percy growing up because he just has such a cozy, he lives in this tiny little hut. He has friends that are animals, and he loves his hot drinks, and it's just such a cute story, this particular one. Basically, one snowy night, Percy is at home all cozy. He hears a knock at the door and there's a little squirrel. So Percy says, come on in, we'll make room for you. Squirrely gets in bed and is nice and cozy. Then there's another knock, 2 rabbits turn up, then a fox, then a badger and a bunch like mice, hedgehogs, geese, and they all have a bit of bother. I can't believe I'm reading you or explaining to you a children's story, but it's just so cute. And then eventually, Molly turns up, and Percy has the idea that if he just uses all the different compartments in his house, he can very easily make space for everyone. So I don't know if you can see that. Everybody has their own little space, and I just think, isn't that just beautifully illustrated and just so cozy? Anyway, that is the book I bought. Unexpected. Did not expect to buy a children's book, but there you have it. Okay, I'm going to put all of this away, put the kettle on. I think I'll heat my cheese scone in the air fryer, have my cheese scone and cuppa, and then edit this video. I think that sounds like a perfect evening, and then I will pack for tomorrow. Very exciting. And just to talk to you about the weather, So bizarre, because about maybe a month or two ago, we had some really crazy wind, and there was no yellow weather warning, nothing like that. And today I feel it's the opposite, where there's a yellow weather warning, but there was hardly any wind. I'm thinking I could see the clouds going past quite quickly, but down on the ground, couldn't really feel very much at all. So that was actually quite a nice surprise, because I don't love the wind, but very, very, very mild. I feel that I could have actually left with my sort of late summer jacket and I would have been totally fine, but I just don't know. Okay, cup of tea time. So I was just listening to a video a friend sent me, of like a little catch-up video of how she's doing, and midway when I was replying, the wind must have picked up because the window rattled a little bit. So I'm thinking that the storm is now picking up, and it must be pretty windy out there because that doesn't happen very often. So the storm has well and truly arrived. It's sounding very blustery out there now, and I've just spent the last hour or so editing this video and just wanted to end it properly with a very quick Q&A and also tea review. So firstly, the teas. This morning was wild cherry and it was a black tea, and I thought that I would really, really love this one because I do quite enjoy cherry. However, it was just okay. I was happy that I drank it, but probably wouldn't be super excited to drink it again. I probably will finish the packet for sure, but after that I wouldn't repurchase. However, the pumpkin spice, I really like that. I wasn't sure because I don't really enjoy, I have tried a pumpkin spice latte, but being not a coffee drinker, it's maybe the fact that I don't like coffee that much is the reason I don't really like pumpkin spice. But this herbal tea reminded me very much of a drink that I get at Steampunk Coffee in North Berwick, and they just call it their hot apple, and I think it's literally like hot fresh apple juice with a little bit of cinnamon. I think that's all that's in it, and that reminded me a little bit of this. So that one I would be very happy to drink again and may even purchase. It also reminded me of Rosevere Tea's something orchard, turmeric orchard tea. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one and would definitely have it again. So that's the tea reviews, and then the questions, sort of 1.5, because someone had asked for a book recommendation and I just need to have a little think about it, so I might manually type back an answer later. And Sierra asked, do I have any dream travel destinations that I haven't been to yet? And the list is long. I don't really travel anywhere generally, but I love a travel documentary, so I've made quite a few, what do you call them? Like a list of places in my mind that I'm like, oh, that sounds amazing. And so first up, would love to visit Japan. Japan has been up on the top of my list for quite a while. It just looks amazing. Both the city and the countryside looks really interesting to me. New Zealand also looks spectacular, and Alan's been and he raves about it and said that I would really love it because it reminded him almost of Edinburgh. He said it was very homey but stunning. Just he had the best time. And would also like to visit Canada. Quite a few different places in Canada, like Banff looks amazing. I also have family friends on both coasts, so it would be amazing to do a trip and visit both of them, even though I know it's quite expensive to travel within Canada, apparently. Also, various places in the US sound really interesting to me. I'm a big The Fugitive fan. Actually just a big Tommy Lee Jones fan. And I watch that movie several times a year and have really, the more I watch it, I'm like, oh, that looks really interesting. Would love to visit that city and explore. So Chicago is up there. I think Oregon as well looks really, really beautiful. I feel there's a few places, like the national parks as well, look spectacular. So quite a few different places, plus Europe. I haven't explored much of Europe either. I've only been to France and Italy, so would really like to explore like maybe Hungary, Poland, so many places, so little time. And I'm the sort of person that if someone were to arrange it for me and I could just go off on the adventure, I'd be very happy. But the actual planning it itself and booking it is where I stumble. That's why I never go abroad. I'm very bad at planning and committing to like a date next year. Like if I was to sit down and try and book a holiday for next December, I'm not sure I could do it because it just seems too far away and I'm like, I don't know what I'll be doing next December. Anyway, there are just so many places on that list, but in the meantime, I'm also very happy to sit and watch a travel documentary of somebody else exploring it, and I can just sit being all cozy and watch their adventure too, so that's fine by me. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Tomorrow I'm headed off on a little solo adventure, an overnight stay somewhere in Scotland where I've been to, but I've never stayed there, and I've never properly explored it by myself. I've only been with friends for a very brief visit, so I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm really hoping the trains will be running because of this weather that we're having. I'm hoping no trees will block the tracks or anything like that. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow and I can share where we're going. Anyway, take care. Bye.